Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and over the last week or so we've been talking about the ongoing Directive gear set a bunch because it's still one of the best ones in the game, and a lot of players out there, including myself, use it on a regular basis. Having said that, in the comment section of one of the previous videos I posted, some of you reached out asking if I had a go-to build based around that gear set as well as the exotic Tinkerer mask. My answer is yes, my friend, so today I'm going to bring you that build really quick. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. If you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, first of all, let's talk about getting the mask. Now, as of my recording this video, there are only two ways you can get this mask. The first one is going to the Potomac Event Center. You want to replay a previous Manhunt takeover mission facing the manager. Now, if you've never gotten the mask before, it's going to be a guaranteed drop the first time you complete it on Master difficulty. Now, in addition to that, since the start of Year 8 Season 1, you can actually farm for the blueprint for this mask and actually craft one for the first time, and you get that blueprint by eliminating kill squads during a Black Tusk retaliation, and I'll talk about that at the very end of the video. Alright, so at this point, let's talk about the build itself, starting with the specialization. We're using Gunner, doing that for the typical reasons, but the two primary ones are because it gives me access to the Banshee Pulse, and I'm going to use that the moment I roll up an NPC. And I'll explain why when we get to the gear set itself. This will also give you access to the large pouch, which will give you 50 extra rounds in the magazine, so in case I'm running with an LMG version of this build, I'm going to equip that. And always remember, regardless of the specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Now we are going to start off with the mask, and needless to say it is the Tinkerer. You can see it has the talent Abridged. If your primary and secondary weapons are not exotic or named and of the same type, the secondary weapon's talent will also be applied to the primary weapon. They continue by saying does not apply if the primary or secondary weapon talent includes weapon swapping, and it does not apply if the primary and secondary weapon talents are the same, so you cannot stack the same talent on both weapons. Alright, so for the first version I'm showing you, we're just going to use LMGs. Now my primary weapon is a GR9, just happens to be one of my favorite LMGs in the game. And as you can see, this has the talent Sadist, and that is going to amplify weapon damage by 30% to bleeding enemies. After 4 kills, it applies bleed to the next enemy you hit, though that is not going to be a concern of ours because of the ongoing Directive gear set. Now because I'm wearing the Tinkerer mask, that means my secondary weapon has to be an LMG as well. So having said that, you can see the talent on our secondary LMG is Pressure Point, and that is going to amplify weapon damage by 15% to enemies under status effects. Now I am using 2 GR9s, but to be very clear, your primary weapon is the one you're going to be using. So when it comes to your secondary weapon, you only have that equipped for the talent that it has on it. So it could be any LMG that you have, just remember it cannot be named or exotic. Now, one of the best things about this mask is that you can use it with whatever your favorite weapon type is. So in the gameplay footage you're about to see, I'm actually going to use an assault rifle version of this build. My primary weapon is going to be a police M4 with the talent Sadist. My secondary is going to be another assault rifle with that talent Pressure Point once again. And as a solo player, this is the version I'm going to use the majority of the time, but if I'm running in a group, I will use that LMG version. Now making our way to the gear itself, you can see we're running 4 of the ongoing Directive gear set. Doing that to get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% status effect, 3 pieces 30% reload speed, 4 pieces rules of engagement. Shooting a status affected enemy will apply a mark, and killing a marked enemy grants a full clip of hollow point ammo for your active weapon and half a clip of the agent's active weapon to the rest of the party. And more importantly, the hollow point ammo is going to amplify weapon damage by 20% and applies bleed on hit. And as you can see, because we're using the body armor, we have access to the talent Parabellum rounds, and that is going to increase the hollow point ammo weapon damage amplification to 50% for you. However, that bonus does not apply to the rest of the party members if you happen to be rolling in a group. Next we have the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, 3 more pieces of the ongoing Directive gear set. Gonna stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Last but not least, we have the backpack. It's the 1 piece of Cheska. We are using that to get that extra 8% crit hit chance bonus, and it has the talent Wicked. Applying a status effect is going to increase weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds, which is an absolute lifetime in this game. As far as the skills are concerned, for this version I'm going to use the Banshee Pulse and the Crusader Shield. If I'm using 2 LMGs, I'm going to use the Banshee Pulse and the Reviver Hive. When we take a look at the numbers, you can see I'm sitting at 60% crit hit chance, remember that's the max, and 120.6 crit hit damage. Remember those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear you have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. Last thing I want to mention really quick, actually 2 things. If you happen to put this build together and try it out within the first 3 days of my posting this, we're actually in the middle of a seasonal event called Deadeye Overdrive, and during that time, automatically you're going to get the following bonuses that you see on screen. However, the gameplay footage you're about to see was recorded before this event took place, so none of the numbers are inflated. You don't have to worry about that. I also want to mention I do not have any global modifiers active whatsoever, and the main reason for that is to ensure that whenever you see this build, you know exactly what it can do without any special events. Finally, as I said previously, with the introduction of Year 8 Season 1, you can actually farm for the Tinkerer blueprint and craft one for the first time. Now, if you want to craft one, you actually have to get lucky enough to get the blueprint to drop. Once you do, you have to farm for certain resources, then you can craft one. Hope this video helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. We're about to go see the new Super Mario Galaxy movie, so I need to run out the door. The main reason I mentioned the Deadeye Overdrive event is because over the next 3 days, the damage numbers on every single one of your builds are going to be higher than they normally are, and that's because of the bonuses you're automatically getting. Now, once again, to be very clear, this was recorded before the event turned on automatically, and I wanted to bring that up because, you know, any build you're using right now is going to have much higher numbers because of that extra 30% weapon damage and because of the extra headshot damage as well. So again, just make sure you're paying attention to that detail. And the other thing I want to mention is that, so when I'm using this build, what I do is this. When I roll up an NPC for the first time, I'm going to hit the Banshee Pulse. That's going to put the enemies under a status effect. I'm going to start shooting enemies. That's going to give them a mark. When I kill a marked enemy, that's going to give me that hollow point ammo on my weapon. Now at that point, the hollow point ammo is going to apply bleed on hit, and that is going to proc every one of our talents. We have the talents running on the weapon, we have the talent running on our backpack, all that good stuff, my friends. So again, I really happen to enjoy this combination, and look, there are countless ones out there. This is just one I wanted to show you really quick. Finally, for those of you out there who are trying to get the blueprint so you can craft one for the first time, as I said previously, you can get that, well, you can hopefully get it by playing Retaliation and targeting the Black Tusk, so that's the faction you want to go after. And to be clear, you know, when you're doing Retaliation and you take out a kill squad, you're not guaranteed to get a blueprint, but that is the only way you can actually get the Tinkerer blueprint. And if you want a full breakdown of how that actually works, I'm going to leave a link to a video I posted when the new season began. It walks you through Retaliation, how to get the agitation meter to full, all that stuff. That's all I got for this video, my friends. We're running out the door to see the movie. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.